sister? Save $5 when you...
Definitely did not click on that. On purpose. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right. I'm gonna count you in 3, 2, 1, and then you're gonna inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, David, Dex. Good morning, Daisy. All right. Level 1 is where you enter into this amazing process on the road to becoming a bad mofo. 7-day free trial. If you can't do 7 minutes, you ain't ready for change. It's really that simple. You got 61,200 seconds, and every day at an average of 17 hours a day makes it a 119-hour week. So 7 minutes and 119 hours, or 60 seconds and 61,200 seconds, is a drop in the bucket. But it is how you strengthen your brain. It's how you take that limbic living and prune it, so that the limbic system, the left and right amygdala, as well as the basal ganglia, which is in the midbrain, allows you to actually get to your excellence. Good morning, Lacey. So it starts on Instagram, Turnaround Doctor, just like it is here on YouTube and TikTok. Message me over there, and I will tell you what you need to do to start on the path of your bad mofo-ness. That part. Now, what are we talking about today? Let me find it. Today we are talking about the hedonic, I've looked 4 different people pronounce the motherfucker 4 different ways. So the hedonic treadmill. That is what we are talking about. Want, get, adapt, want. Want, get, adapt, want. Want, get, adapt, want. Want, get, adapt, want. Rinse and repeat. Good morning, gentlemen. It is me, the amazing Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers, baddest mofo walking the face of the planet Earth, here to create bad mofos too, so I can have some peers. I am the daughter of Leslie Darnell Thomas. I am the granddaughter of Arthur Jethro Evelyn II, and I am the great-granddaughter of Levi Thomas. Welcome to your morning mental workout. And I thought about what the person just said to me on TikTok. You seem irritated. Now, the person just met me. I don't know them from a can of paint. I don't know where that statement came from, but people say it all the time, right? So here is the thing about this personalized perspective. Why can't I be irritated and I'm in menopause? Why can't I be irritated going through menopause? I'm sleep deprived today. So when you are sleep deprived, your brain doesn't function at a high enough level. So this whole notion that if someone is presenting on a live, they don't get to present reality is something that I did not sign up for. I find it interesting that when people want something from me, they want me to not be irritated so they can get their lesson from me, even though the lesson is the other people. There's a whole group of people who are no longer here because they wanted me to ignore the trolls and just keep teaching. And I wouldn't do that, because you can't ignore the unaccountable people in your life. You have to hold them personally accountable, and it is tasking, and you don't like how that feels. But it's happening in your life too. You don't like how that feels, and yet you let it continue. And the lesson that's not being taken away is the fact that I'm not letting it continue. I'm handling conflict when it occurs. And that is irritating, because you are attempting to do something, and here comes an unaccountable, dysregulated brain stopping it for a dopamine boost. That's the issue. That's the actual problem. And hello, is someone there? Because my lie, am I talking to myself right now? I can keep going. I'm just addressing the continuation from TikTok. So potentially I'm a little bit irritated with the churchgoer folks who literally just want to say something because a holiday for them is showing up. It's more like an attack on you. It's not, it's personalized perspective. And so what happens is people literally have an expectation for when they perceive someone to be a leader or not. And so they then project to say, you're not supposed to be acting like that. But everybody gets irritated. Everybody does. It's the actual. And so people for many years have told me how I should feel about a lot of things. But my insulin registers what I need to feel. My ACC processes that. And it's a point in time. And that's why I said you need to stick around for 90 days because every last student knew what was happening and what was taking place, and it didn't bother them. But what that person was actually saying, now that I actually have cognition to process it, is that their brain was saying, this is creating friction for me. You're addressing people, so you irritated, just keep teaching because I don't like how this makes me feel. So it's easier to tell me to stop than to process what's actually taking place for you. David, why are you talking so much this morning? Who are you? Who are you right now? Because you're distracting me with this much communication. We are here. You are correct. The pain they feel is great. And they shout out of their pain like you're teaching from yesterday. Exactly. And so that was what irritated me. But again, all of the students understood what was taking place. But again, it's simpler to project on me. Just keep teaching. I am taking notes. Why are you doing this? So I'm going to just say this, and then we're going to get into the hedonic treadmill. I'm in menopause. Fuck y'all. Nola said she noticed it. She said it just feels like now that you're in menopause, all that shit that you was putting up with, you're not putting up with anymore. I was like, yeah, that's pretty much what's actually taking place. Fuck y'all. You missed them estrogen years. They're gone. I'm in my testosterone phase of my life right now. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I say what I want to say. I process things neurologically and logically. And if I smell bullshit, I'm going to say that smell like bullshit and that shit is some bullshit. So get used to it because you don't unget out of menopause. You get on the other side of it and you finish. I am here to learn and be open. I was in your life earlier. I'm a life clinician. Okay, so David over here, listen, because that popping up is distracting me. So I'm in menopause and I can lose my train of thought very quickly. So just listen. I'm not a pastor. You don't have to say, amen, tell him, pastor. Don't do that, okay? Because it's popping up and I'm stopping and it's popping up, okay? So if you could do that. Okay, let me get rid of this person because there will be trolls coming and everything else. I moderate my own lives. So my point that I'm making is with all of this is that people want me to fit into boxes that make them comfortable. That's why we had yesterday's live personalized perspective. And I'm not going to do that. I went to church for 26 years to no avail. So when a holy roller Bible thumper comes to me trying to tell me some shit that they fucking pastor said, as if I'm not a person that follows God and listens on a daily basis, then you're going to get called out. You're going to get called out every time. You want to tell me what's wrong with me? Okay, let's see what's wrong with your church. Give me the website. Give me the pastor. I will Google them, and I will tell you everything that they're not doing. And some shit you didn't know about them. So don't do that. Leave me alone. That's what Michael Jackson said. Leave me alone. Because I make you discomforted. I specialize in discomfort. I'm a mirror. Thank you, Jared. I'm a mirror. Mirror neurons. Y'all want to do everything but what I'm saying do. You want to do everything but a fucking Neuro Rep. Just do the Neuro Rep. I keep telling people, if I'm wrong, see me in 3, do what I'm saying do for 365 days. And on the 366th day, if you still believe that I'm wrong, then now you have your own information, your own tangible information. But do not measure my excellence by your Pharaoh's incompetence. That's not fair to them because that's what you're doing. Well, you don't look like my leader. You don't talk like my leader. And my leader told me that you should be doing this. Your leader is wrong. Your leader is wrong. So let's move on. It's okay for you to go and worship your Pharaoh. It's okay for you to be a Green Bay Packer fan. Don't bring that shit over here because it's excellence. It's personal accountability. So if you ain't ready to be the real you, take that shit back over there, boo-boo. That's all I'm saying. You coming in my shit telling me I'm doing it wrong. How? Based upon what? I don't come to your things. I don't do any of y'all shit. I did it. I did it better than y'all did it, and then I left it. Good morning. So my point is, this isn't, well, you seem irritated when you seem, what the fuck are you doing? What did you do in your default mode network this morning? What did you do when it was time for you to be with you at your thoughts? Because it's easy to be self-righteous. It's easy to look at what you see and then decide and determine based upon your programming how you feel about it. But you don't even know. Because when you're in your default mode network, you're not actually self-reflecting and self-correcting. You're mind-wandering, daydreaming, and ruminating. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I am irritated by a group of imbecilic people telling me how to do me on a daily basis instead of them doing them. You fix you first, it fixes a lot. If you actually wire your brain for excellence, you will see things that you never saw before. And it's the amount of inexcellence that exists in the world today with the almost 6 billion adults that are here. So do not drive by, take a snapshot photo, and then think you're going to tell me who I am or you know what I'm talking about, because you don't. My daughter has been around for 23 years and there's still things about me. She's like, damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So the personalized perspective, I'm working towards it not irritating me, but I just found out about it less than 48 hours ago. And part of it is how much I had to experience it. And now that I'm in menopause, I'm just not tolerating it anymore. Because that's what I was doing. I was tolerating dysregulation, comfort, safety, seeking brains for 52 years and some change. And now I'm saying, get out of here with that bullshit. And so if that comes across as irritation to you, that comes across as friction in your ACC, cool. It should. You should be tired of it too. I told y'all, Nefertiti and Amenhotep created the first family fake photo. And y'all been taking them family fake photos ever since. History repeats itself again and again. So what is the hedonic treadmill? Oh, and my lives are sponsored by the elements H2O. So drink water when I say it, or when you're thirsty. Okay, the hedonic treadmill is when you keep achieving, but never feel like it's enough. You keep achieving, but never feel like it's enough. So the hedonic treadmill is the brain's tendency to rapidly adapt to improvements, money, status, relationships, achievements, so that your baseline happiness resets back to normal. You don't stay excited. You don't stay satisfied. You go right back into wanting more. Remember when you had your LPCs? That's what we called it in the military. Your feet, and you got your first car. Whatever that was, if it was a hoopty or if it was something new, you'd say, oh, I'm going to take care of this car. You washed that motherfucking car. Couldn't nobody eat in it. You had plastic mats covering the things. If somebody tried to smoke in your car, you better get the fuck out of my car. And then it just became a car. You said, well, when I got my new car, got your new car, same thing. You lived in a studio apartment. You said, oh, when I get my house, I'm going to take care of my house. Got your house, homeowners gave you a notice for landscaping. You was mad as shit. You was hot as fish grease. Ooh, I gotta leave this neighborhood. I need a bigger house. I need a bigger house. That's what I need. You got your bigger house and you still ain't keeping it clean. Soon as I get blessed with this, ooh, I want this job. I said that last week. One of Nola's clients said, I pray for this job. I pray for this job. I don't like this job. That's the hedonic treadmill. So I'm presenting to you your level 3 Neuro Rep, your level 4 Neuro Reps first. So how does dopamine adaptation and prediction era keep the brain chasing the next reward? That's what you're going to discuss, and you're going to figure it out. Why does the brain get what it wants and then it doesn't want it anymore? That doggone hedonic treadmill. again and again and again. That's why you got so much shit in your house. And it's still not enough, because up here, the treadmill, when I get my next, that's why it's not enough. That's why LeBron James has 17 sports cars and counting. That's why Elon Musk has to be the first trillionaire, because being on the top of the billionaires list wasn't enough. It is never enough. You found out last week that dopamine has no limitations, no limits on what it wants, and it takes more and more and more and more. And Jared, if you're on here, that's why it's so hard to get on a healthy diet and stay on a healthy diet, because of how much more you consume to get you to that point. And it's like, where is it? Give it to me. Where is it? Give it to me. Where is it? Give it to me. And then it's the temporary relief with them long-term side effects from all of that. That's what's actually happening. So the mechanism is this. You want something. The anticipation alone is releasing dopamine. You get it. Brief satisfaction. I ate red velvet cupcakes. Jared ate honey buns. And then your brain adapts. Baseline reset. And the ACC detects the gap again. New desire. Rinse and repeat. You only had 3 pair of shoes, and now you have 10. You didn't get 10 pair of shoes, and now you want 20. You get 20 pair of shoes, and now you need 30. Now you need a whole room for your clothes and your shoes, and in my case, your hair, because that ain't never enough. Now you need a whole 2 walk-in closets and a storage unit for all your shit. That's the hedonic treadmill. You had a simple diet, and now you got so much food. That shit is, say, 2017. You got food in your pantry from 2017, and it's 2026. You didn't eat it, why'd you buy it? If y'all came in our house, y'all would be like, damn, where the food at? Instead of where them fans at, where the food at? But I don't like eating frozen meat. So we go purchase food for 2 to 3 days, meal prep, and that's it. There is no meat in our freezer, because I hate the taste. I can taste the freezer burn. I don't care if it's been in there for a minute. I'm like, I'm not thawing it out. It don't thaw out the same. You try to put it in some water. If it's chicken, you can't do that. I'm just like, nope, we're just going to go get it fresh. We talk about personal accountability over here. Okay. People are stuck in the loop because of trauma. What's your doctorate in? London lady. What is your doctorate in? This is a great time to drink water. I got a lot of help this morning. Guest instructors. Doctorate, what's it in? What was your dissertation on, and what's your current research? Doctorate, dissertation, current research. Doctorate, dissertation, current research. Doctorate, dissertation, current research. No? Then be quiet. That's what you can do. You can listen, but you can't speak because you don't have the credentials to speak over here. It's a free country, not over here. We're not in the country. We're on a lie. So is that you don't have a doctorate and you don't have a dissertation and you're not currently doing research? Because the question that I asked you was, what is your doctorate in? That's not word salad. Do you actually have a doctorate, PhD or EDD? Did you do a dissertation? And what is your current research? What is your doctorate in? What did you do your dissertation on? And what is your current research? London lady. What is your doctorate in? What was the topic of your dissertation, and where is your current research? What is your doctorate in? What is it in? With all of your rhetoric, with all of your rhetoric. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are experiencing personalized perspective. Someone presented as an expert, got called out, and then is currently mythologizing about a bunch of rhetoric that they heard from some other people. So see, I'm minding my own business on my own live. Someone presents as an expert, is credential checked, doesn't have credentials, and then goes on to attempt to insult me with no credentials, using what they believe is credentialed work to actually insult me. So now there's friction in the ACC. And so now their brain is creating identity protection because they live in a limbic lifestyle. Does everybody see it? Because we talked about it yesterday. So can we see it in real life as London Lady continues to be the lesson? Do we see the lesson, ladies and gentlemen, so we can get rid of London Lady and their personalized perspective because they don't have credentials? Uncredentialed person using scientific rhetoric because they do not have credentials. They're not educated. So they're using other people's theories because they don't have one of their own, because they're not educated, because they actually don't have a doctorate. They don't have a dissertation. They did not do actual research, and they are currently not doing actual research. And yet they keep using other people's research to assess something that they are neurologically inept to do because they don't have a doctorate, they don't have a dissertation, they aren't currently doing research, but yet they still keep typing with their uneducated self. Where's your doctorate? I'm not looking up shit. Where's yours? Where's yours? Because I have mine. Where's yours? You came on here. You came on here and I'm asking you, I'm doing a credential check. Where's yours at? Where's yours? Where's your doctorate, your dissertation? Where's your doctrine? Where's yours, London Lady? Where's yours? Where is yours? Since you over here prospecting, where's yours? I don't want to hear about nobody else's. You don't have it. You don't have it at all. You talking about somebody else's work. Where's your work at? You using someone else's work to call me a narcissist and a gaslighter. Where's your work to prove it? No? Are you gone? So that was in real time, ladies and gentlemen. I held someone personally accountable for the shit that they were saying, that they read somewhere. Read it. We always got these readers with these white papers. No doers, just readers and talkers. Uncredentialed, telling me about other people's discoveries. Misdiagnosing me because they actually don't have any degrees. And then want to tell me what I'm not doing when it doesn't match. Yes, it's because of trauma. How you know? How you know it's because of trauma? Did you do some research on the trauma? How you know? You read it? Did you do your own trauma experiments with people with trauma? No? Okay, cool. You still there, London Lady, or did you go away? With your uncredentialed self? Did you go back, you going to research some more shit and tell me some other shit you read? Is that what you get ready to do? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say something else. Do a shortcut. Ask chat. While you're in there, ask your chat about me, Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers, and see what pops up. You could conduct your own experiment. Put your name in your chat and then put my name in your chat. And then you can compare that. How about that? That's what you could do. Then you can come back tomorrow, conduct your own experiment, and see what you saw. Read what you read to the group. Type it in. I'll let you type it in. That's what you could do. Okay? All right? I'm giving you opportunity. You're going to do that? You're going to conduct your own experiment? Are you, London lady? Since you interrupted, well, you're the lesson, so you didn't interrupt it. You gave us a valuable lesson in yesterday's lesson in real time. That's what you did. So thank you for being who you are. No? Okay, well, you can't come back now. You had an opportunity to practice defending your thesis, and you chose not to prove that Dr. Donna is a narcissist, and I am gaslighting people. Now, you got to go so I can continue on. So don't we find it interesting? Yesterday, the church person called me a hoe, came back again on another account called me a hoe on my live again, but told me about Jesus the sentence before. Now, we had another church person telling me God woke me up this morning, how dare I, and all that. I asked two simple questions. What's your church website and who's your pastor? And I never got that information, which was quite telling. And now I have someone else this morning. It's not even 6 o'clock for me yet. 3 different people and a couple people in the trolls that I have blocked telling me who I am based upon who they are, filling it in for themselves. None of it is true, but an untrained limbic living brain needs to have comfort. So it needs to feel good about being ancient. It has to do that. So I'm going to get back to my topic. Great lesson, great little hip pocket training for anybody who believes that it's not occurring. It is. And because you are actually doing the neurological work, first of all, you can sense the friction. You can also now start to begin to unpack what's happening neurologically for them. Why are they doing this? Categorize, don't personalize. That's what I'm working on. Why is their untrained brain behaving in this manner in real time? Let's unpack it and see. Now, what you can also extrapolate from these experiences, both yesterday and today, is that when I implement the principle of real leadership, the number one principle of real leadership, hold yourself and others personally accountable, the limbic living brain sees that as a threat. And what do they all have in common? Attack. Personal attack. You can call me a hoe, a narcissist, a gaslighting person. You are a sinner and you need Jesus and everything else. Why? Because I held them personally accountable. So as you begin to hold the unaccountable, dysregulated, untrained brain people in your life personally accountable, you too will be attacked. I don't know what they're going to say to you because they're going to personalize it. So individual results will vary, but the whole goal will be to hijack your amygdala. You held me accountable. I don't want to be disciplined. I want immediate gratification. I don't want to be honest. You're not going to make me do something that doesn't give me dopamine. Attack you. It's going to happen if it hasn't already happened, because the basal ganglia has said you are a threat. Anybody that makes me change, anybody that holds me personally accountable, anybody that knows who they are, I'm going to be mad at them and I'm going to tell them who they are. You are a narcissist. I don't need a doggone doctorate, but you're using everybody's information that has a doctorate to tell me who I am. The cognitive dissonance of it all. You want to know why that person did that as well? Because to get a doctorate is hard as hell. 1 out of 10 people actually make it all the way to the end. But if you read a lot and you talk to a bunch of stupid people, well, but have you read that doctrine? Create your own, like I have. But then that will require cognitive, higher level cognition. It will require that you actually got to read, write, and do a lot of research and then get your work approved by somebody. But it's easy to read approved work and then talk about the approved work without actually going through the process. We are not the same. We are not the same. I do not care about somebody reading, but did you read it? Because that's what your brain has been trying to do. Reading is easy for you. You got a high reading comprehension level. And so now you want to spew rhetoric and say these terms without verifying. But if you actually had to do research on narcissism, then you'd be able to identify it correctly. Just because someone has said something that you don't approve of and it goes against your identity protection, you don't get to call them a narcissist because they challenged your level of understanding of what you're saying. They asked, how do you know it's trauma? Did you do some research on it? No, you didn't. You read it and you memorized it and then you repeated it. So in your brain, you wired your brain for all of this shit. So you sound like you did some work until you come across a motherfucker that actually did the work. And I'm saying, where is your work? And you don't have any. So we actually don't have anything to talk about. Okay? All right, are we good? So the mechanism again is you want something, because we're actually talking about the hedonic treadmill. You want something, the dopamine spikes, you get it, brief satisfaction, the brain adapts, goes back to baseline. So if you now have a 3-bedroom home and you was used to living in a studio apartment, you adapt to the 3-bedroom home. And a 3-bedroom home feels like your studio apartment. So now you need a 5-bedroom home. You get to the 5-bedroom home, it feels like your studio apartment. So now you need a 15-room mansion. And so on and so forth. You had one suit, now you got 40 suits. And you're retired. You don't even need to wear suits anymore. So it keeps happening. Here's some everyday examples. You get a new job. I can't wait to get this job. 90 days later, I hate this job. Money. I just need to make X amount of dollars. You hit that, and now you need 2X. Why? Why? Everybody has a number. Good morning, Regina. Everybody has a number. Does Elon Musk need $1 trillion? Just asking for a friend. Does some individual person need $100 billion? Do they need it? 100 of personal wealth. Do they need it is the question. Not do they want it, but do they need it? Because why wasn't $100 billion enough? Why is it $300 billion enough? Why do you need $1 trillion? Because of the hedonic treadmill. That's why it's not enough. Why does one person need 90 Grammys in the same category? Because of the hedonic treadmill. That's why. Why do you need 50 potholders and you live alone? Because of the hedonic treadmill. Why do you need a television in every wall in every room of your house and you live alone? Because of the hedonic treadmill. Back in the day, you used to have one television, the whole family watched it. That was it. In the 80s, when I grew up, we had a fucking floor model. We thought this with the swivel on it. We thought that shit was the shit. And then everybody needed a TV in their room. Now you need a TV in the car. You need a TV on the plane. You need a TV everywhere. Screens at the fucking gas stations now. Why? The hedonic treadmill. That's why. Relationships. You get in a new relationship, you're excited, then you get comfortable, then you get bored, and you're searching for something because something is missing. Don't believe me? Go look at your wedding photos. That's why married people don't look the same, because they're bored. The hedonic treadmill. That's why they start saying, let's have an open marriage. Why I cheated on you? Because of the hedonic treadmill. That's why. You're bored. So y'all sit around and eat. And you get real, real big. And you say, that's love. No, that's not. That's high cholesterol. That's gout. That's diabetes. That's a heart attack waiting to happen. That's what that is. That's not love. You sure about that? Well, that's because we know each other and we're not out here no more, so we don't have to. Why not? That's why y'all bored. Whatever y'all did when y'all saw each other, why you can't keep that spark? It's hard to keep the spark. Why? The hedonic treadmill. Kids, bills, mortgages, grass, landscapers, vacations, grandkids, all that. So you're bored. So then you balloonify. Material items. New car, house, clothes. It quickly becomes normal. And that's that. It becomes normal. You say, "Oh, I always wanted my favorite, your first expensive piece of clothing that you got, watch, jewelry, whatever. You stayed up, you ate ramen noodles, you got it, and then you wanted something else. You got your first Rolex, that ain't enough. You got to get the Yacht Master. You need a Philippe Petit. You got your first Coach purse, that ain't enough. You need a Birkin bag. Now you need the Kelly. Now you need all of them. You got to have 35 Birkin bags and Kellys and everything else. Why? You do not need 17 pair of black stilettos. Hedonic treadmill. Social media. You get 1,000, you got 100 followers, like, ooh, as soon as I get to 1,000. As soon as I get to 1,000, I'm going to be happy. You get to 1,000, but then you can't start monetizing until you get to 10,000. So I need 10,000. You get to 10,000 shit. I really need 100,000 in order for it to really work. You ain't really doing shit. You just want the followers. It ain't even shit for them to fucking follow. You don't even post enough. But you just want it. So the real problem is not success and excellence. It's that the brain is wired to adapt faster than you can appreciate it. You can't even appreciate it. You can't, because of the hedonic treadmill. Now, you got a lot of people making it seem like that next level is the level, but nobody is satisfied. Nobody is content with what they have. As soon as I get mine, I got a whole video, as soon as I get mine, but as soon as I get mine, you got your, look around, you got your as soon as I get mine. You in it. Why isn't it enough? Because you never took the time, and especially if you cheated to get it, if you entered into a Faustian bargain, if you married into wealth, if you knew somebody that got you the job and you didn't have to sit through the whole entire interview process, it's very simple for you to not value it because you didn't actually neurologically wire it. When you take the time to do one Neuro Rep a day, you start out at 60 seconds with just done. And you go to phase 2 and you do done with some before, during, and after. And then you get to phase 3 and now you got videos of me. Notice you don't get access to me until you get to level 3. Now there's video of me saying, here's the thing. And then you get all these other things incrementally. The brain can adjust to it incrementally. And then the brain values it because it becomes implicit. That becomes the habit. That's why when I got my DTM, I never put it on the wall. I didn't need to because I had a strategy. Can I get my DTM in 18 months? And when I knew it got closed out, I got the email from Toastmasters. Hey, congratulations, you're a DTM. By the time the plaque came in the mail, I didn't need to display it because I had a strategy and I knew it. And then it was like, well, I'm a double DTM. That's what people were doing. I'm sure I ain't got to do that again. The process is the process. I'm going to move on and go do something else. Because I mastered this. I did it as expedient as possible, knocked it out the ballpark, had chartered clubs that were select distinguished, then presidents distinguished, won Toastmasters contest. I had done everything that you could do in Toastmasters besides become a world champion. And that would take too long, and I couldn't do it because I literally you got to give the same speech over and over and over and over and over again. That shit was killing me. I got to the division contest. I was glad I lost. I was like, I can't get this speech again. This shit is driving me bonkers. I'm just repeating. Couldn't do it. So I said, I'm good. Y'all can have that. But when you have this hedonic treadmill, it's never enough. It's never enough. That's why I said, if you want it, sit on your hands for 24 hours. Put it in a cart and sleep on it. Wake up and assess why you want it. Because if it's an emotional reason, then now you literally can know, I slept on it and I don't even have that feeling anymore. And most of the time you want it because of the tribe that you're in, they have it. Friend groups have the same fucking furniture, patio furniture and everything else. Well, I was at my friend's house. The kids went to our friend's house and they played on this. So this is why you got to put this together. So then keep it up with the Joneses is this hedonic treadmill. And it's unfortunate. So if an untrained brain, you have that limbic lifestyle. So you're reacting and craving and comparing your shit to somebody else's shit. My bedroom set is from 2009. I would not be getting a new bedroom set unless a natural disaster occurs and this motherfucker just goes and gets washed away or whisked away in the wind. Why? Because when I saw the bedroom set, it had a high headboard for my back and my shoulders. So if I'm reading in bed, my whole back is supported. The dresser still has a mirror attached, and I get to separate my panties, my bras, and my socks from my pajamas, my jewelry, and my workout equipment, all in the same dresser. I'm good to go. The handles and everything still work on it. So until it get whisked away or I'm not here anymore, there's no reason for me to get another bedspread. Our dining room table is from 2008. Our entryway table is from 2008. Our furniture is from 2012. Why? We have a white refrigerator, a white and black stove, and a white and black dishwasher. Why? Because it matches the kitchen. This shit breaks. Guess what we going to Home Depot or Lowe's to get? Another fucking white refrigerator. The silver don't match the doggone light color tile in the tan cabinets. So why would I do that? I'm from the Motor City. I haven't had a car since 2016 myself. That was mine. Why do I need a car? I'm at work right now and I'm looking at my bed right now. I don't have to wear a watch anymore because I'm on my own time. So why do I need to do those things? But when you have a hedonic treadmill, the friend groups keep you purchasing. The family, watching shit on television makes you feel like you're behind. Behind what? You know what else I don't have? Reoccurring credit card bills coming in the mail to remind me of the shit I bought. I don't have a car note and car insurance and maintenance and all of that. I don't have that to go along with this hedonic treadmill. So I got peace that surpasses all understanding. I don't have to buy a new outfit because I'm going to show a motherfucker. I'm replacing clothes that I no longer have. I look good in white linen pants. It's hot as fucking hell in Las Vegas and I'm in menopause. I can't be having on heavy shit in the summer. Hence, you can put a lot with some linen pants. You can dress it up. You can dress it down. It's a staple item. It's like having a black dress. I needed them. And we went for over the course of several weeks to get to a store to be able to replace those pants that just got worn out. So it's a 1-for-1 swap unless I need something for something new that I am about to do. I've had this wig on for the entire month of March, and now I have another one to replace it already, and then I'm going to donate it. I'm done. But I don't have 50 wigs. I don't need 50 wigs. Okay? So this hedonic treadmill that you are on, you really got to assess why you want it. So how do you remove it? I brought it to your attention, and I'm not going to just leave you sitting here with like, damn, this is why I got this. 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 Because of other people. Do not have rooms in your house that, and I'm not talking about a guest room. Rooms y'all can't sit in until company come over. Fuck them. You create a house and then you say, well, when people come over, they don't live there. So fuck them. Create the house that the people in the house live in because that's what works best for y'all in y'all house. We don't have a television. You come over here again, watch a fucking television because we don't have one. You don't have to talk over here. We got some board games. It's a chess set sitting on the dining room table where Nola and I have an ongoing game of chess happening all the time. I moved, you moved, I moved until somebody gets to checkmate. Because that's our life. And it took a lot to get here because of stuff Melissa Steen saying, you gotta have this, you gotta have this, you gotta have this. Why? It's not working. You're gonna have it and then it ain't gonna be enough. You're gonna need some more and some more and some more. No one's like, hey, how many neural pathways you create this week? That ain't a conversation you have. How many old neural pathways did you prune? Huh? What don't you do no more? You're not doing that. You're talking about what you consume, what you bought. Did you get promoted at the job? How the kids do in school? Did they do better than everybody else? Did they beat them in sports? And this ain't enough, and this ain't enough, and this ain't enough. And you want to make it seem like that shit is working. It's not. It's not. At all. So how do you remove it? You train the brain to notice the ACC plus the PFC. You daily ask, what is already working? What is already working? That's what you say. And then this reduces that gap detection. Because if you wake up thinking of lacking what you don't have, you're going to wire your brain for what you don't have and lack instead of what is. That's why, Jared, if you want here, I told you this morning, I understand that immediate gratification still got you in a strong neurological bond. That's not good. And then I presented everything else to you and I gave you personal examples of the things that's hardwired versus, you can just snip the neural pathways and they're gone. Everybody has things that they're hardwired for that they got to get rid of because that's how you tap into your real identity and become yourself. If you don't ever do that, then you're going to be stuck living in your limbic system. And so this principle of real leadership that goes with training the brain to notice is be a thermostat, not a thermometer. Control your internal state versus reactive. Do not let anybody sell you and tell you who you are. Don't do that. I did not go and buy those white pants that the sales reps kept offering me when I knew in my head what I was looking for. And so I waited until I found it. And then I said, boom, thank you. Here we go. So install a gratitude circuit. 3 specific wins daily. It forces the astrocytes and the synaptic strengthening around satisfaction. And so you focus on the results, which is the principle of real leadership. Now, let me explain gratitude to you, because everybody's like, you ought to be grateful for what you have because it's people that have less. No, that is not how gratitude works. If you are sitting at the stoplight in your car and a better car pulls up to the left and there's somebody sitting at the bus stop, you don't look to the right and say, well, at least I'm not them. No, you look to the left at that car that's 2 to 3 to 4 more times more expensive than your car, and you say, I'm grateful for my Toyota Corolla. That's actually gratitude. But because to do it the other way is superiority complex. Well, at least I ain't on the bus and shit is hot today. I got air conditioning too. No. That's what the lazy brain programs you to do. And so as a result, you want the Rolls Royce Phantom. You want the Bugatti, the Volvo, whatever the fuck it is. You want that, which is why you want a hedonic treadmill. That's what's happening. If I ever get a car again, I am getting a Kia Soul. If they still make them at that time. You can get in, you can get out, you can park, low maintenance, low registration for the state and everything else, in and out. I've been in one. I'm like, yep, this is what I'm going to be in. To quote J. Cole, something to get you back and forth. That's it. So slow down your dopamine consumption. That's what you can do. And if y'all are commenting, I can't see it. Right now it's registering that there are no people on the live. So if you're saying something and I'm not responding to the students, it's because YouTube is bugging this morning. Slow down. So when I finish with this, I can go check in YouTube on my tablet to see if y'all have said something. Slow down the dopamine consumption. Dopamine is why you're on a hedonic treadmill. Reduce constant novelty, scrolling, shopping, stimulation. And let the baseline stabilize. Get everything that you need. Yes, thank you, Lacey. Get everything. Oh, so y'all clutching your real leader pearls. Got it. Get everything that you need, and then sprinkle in some wants. Sprinkle in some wants. And the principle of real leadership that this coincides with is eliminate distractions. That's a distraction. If every time you go on vacation, you got to buy some new clothes, so when you show your friends the photos, they know you got on a new outfit. That's a hedonic treadmill. I wear the same outfits over and over and over again. Why? Because I look good in them, and it's easy to grab based upon the temperature. Who started this whole notion that you got to keep having new clothes for no reason? And when I was looking for them, because we go to Fashion Show Mall now, that's down on the strip, so they believe people are on vacation, so they ask you when you're shopping, well, what's the occasion? What are you getting this for? And I'm like, because I need it. So when I was looking for the white pants, I was in Ann Taylor, and the sales rep was saying, well, what is the occasion? I said, none. I just need to replace these pants. And so the same thing happened when I got some black pants out of White House Black Market over Christmas. She said, well, what is the occasion? Where you're going? I'm the occasion. I gave away my other black slacks, so it's a 1-for-1 swap. That's what it is. It's a 1-for-1 swap. Went and got some new white and black Adidas because I gave away the other pair. This is a 1-for-1 swap. So you eliminate the distractions. I can't go because I don't have no new clothes. I had that. Oh God, I'm pull up in an old car, used car, and now I ain't got no car. What people gonna think? I really don't give a fuck. I don't need a car. If I needed a car, I will go get a car, and I will go get a Kia Soul if I needed a car. But I don't. So when you keep doing all these things to show a motherfucker it's never enough, and you gotta outdo yourself if you're the alpha in the group, for what? Yes, I have a lot of pieces from there. A lot of pieces from there. So, well, not a lot, because I gave a lot of clothes away. But the point is that this hedonic treadmill is stopping you from being excellent because you're trying to get to the next thing. So how much money is enough money? Now, Maslow's hierarchy of need, I'm not saying if you can't pay your bills and you barely eating. I've been there, done that. But I'm saying at what point is enough enough? When do you have enough? enough rainy day fun, enough so that you can focus on being extraordinary instead of this. I like this and now I don't. I like this and now I don't. I like this and now I don't. I'm over it. Why? Because you want some dopamine. So you shift from outcome to process. Stop chasing having and start reinforcing doing. The more I do, the less physical possessions I need. Now I need clothes because my other clothes have worn out. Okay, Jared, have a great one. The bottom of soles on my Gucci sandals wore out, so I had to go to the cobbler to get them replaced. Those shoes were bought in 2003 and 2005. So I think it was time to replace the soles on those shoes. I know it was time. So that's what I did. I didn't go to the mall and buy new sandals. I went to the cobbler and said, hey, because they patent out. I was like, can you replace the bottom? And he did a phenomenal job. And I have another pair that's the sole is getting replaced. And that's it. He's Italian. You just need this. You need to reinforce. Got it. Here you go. How much? Here you go. So the having is the problem. I have it. But what you doing now that you have it? What you doing with it? So the example is, I want to make $100,000. That's a bad example. I execute daily high standard actions. That's different. That's why I say I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I don't care if you got 3 PJs. I don't care. What you doing? What you doing? What did you learn? I just take the 74. When in doubt, just pull the principles of real leadership out. That's how you're going to know if somebody is a real bad mofo. That's what I use, because they are objective as shit. Handle conflict when it occurs. Treat people with dignity and respect. Be honest. Have fun. Relax. Take naps. Be prepared. Inspect what you expect. They real simple in black and white. Take all that other bullshit out of there. Take all of that having out of there. What do you have? Why? I have a pair of floral print Gucci wedges with bamboo up the back that wrap around, satin. Wrap around your ankle. They sent 50 pair to the United States. That was it. Done. Gone. Only 50 pair in the whole U.S. I don't know how many of us still have them or how many were made, but I got one of the pairs that got sent to the U.S. I have that. That ain't got shit to do with what I do on a daily basis. I don't even wear them anymore. They're up in a box. Well, their original box. So what does having have to do with doing? Because having is simple. And even when you have it, you don't even want it anymore. How many times have you met somebody, they got a bunch of shit and they still complaining? And you're like, look at all this stuff that you have. Because they are neurologically unfulfilled. Because they ain't doing shit, but having shit. What they do is based upon what they want to have. Let me write that down. That's good. That's real good. You want a new house? You work harder at a job? You want to get promoted? You go back to school? Yep. That's why you do it. It's based upon what you want to have. So build identity-based satisfaction. Anchor it to who am I becoming versus what I got. And not Michelle Obama's becoming. So you got to believe in yourself. And here's what I find. Because again, y'all know I live in a neighborhood, motherfuckers got some shit. They have a lot. They walk around Whole Foods with it. See them driving in it. And it's interesting. When a person they have on all the shit. And then I show up with what I got. And who I am. It's a problem. Because they trying to figure out, I pulled up I got on all the, what do you have that I don't have? Neural pathways, world leadership, applied neuroscience, because I became Dr. Donna and am now a bad mofo. You can't buy that at the store. You can't. It's impossible. And that's why people want me to have merch and a t-shirt and everything else. So you can't have real leadership. It's something that you do. You can't have applied neuroscience. I can't sell that to you. That's why it's $12.99 at max on YouTube, because you actually can't have it. You actually have to do the work in order for it to work. And that's what's perplexing people. That's why it's so confusing to people, because they think it's worthless because you can't purchase it. That's what they have decided. That's why I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose. I don't know if the highlight got created or not. So you rewire through repetition. And what I have found now that I'm around so many people that have stuff is they actually don't believe in themselves. They believe in what they have. So if they have it on, that means that makes them the shit. That's why I don't present that over here. For what? Man, did you see what they got? Did you see what they got? Why are they showing it to you? Because it wasn't enough to have it. The hedonic treadmill. So they needed to say, nah, bitch, I got it and you don't. And that wore off too. So then they needed to have more. Hedonic treadmill. That's why people can't give things away, because of the hedonic treadmill. I need that and that, so I can show y'all all that I have. I have to have 20 sports cars, because one wasn't enough. And 20 is my number. But wait. The new McLaren just came out. I need that too. I gotta have that too. Why? For what? So satisfaction is a trained pathway. I will say contentment. And it's repeatedly noticing it so that it becomes automatic. And that's grow continually. Grow continually. I continue to grow how much I know. I continue to grow the information that I give to you on the daily basis. And that's rewarding and fulfilling for me, and rewarding and fulfilling for you. And you ain't really got to buy a lot over here. I don't have any merch. I don't have a whole store. I can tell you get some nasal rinse and some Ensure and some oatmeal and all of those things. But not my $99.99 package, my $750 this, and if you buy this, then you're going to be able to get this. I'm going to teach you how to make $1 million. Why would I do that? My grandfather said, if you can't manage $5, you can't manage 5,000. If you get to $1 million the wrong way, then you're going to cheat your way to $10 million, and you're going to cheat your way to $100 million, and you're going to keep staying on the hedonic treadmill. So the bottom line is this. The hedonic treadmill doesn't stop because you get more. It don't stop. Look around your house at your hedonic treadmill shit. It stops when you train your brain to value what already is. And I appreciate you for being a student that wanted to grow, Lola. This is a two-way street. You train your brain to value what already is. I train my brain to value now. Al-Anon says, be where your feet are. Be where your feet are, while still executing at a high level. So I'm grateful for what I have, and I'm still about to start my 6th neuroscience class. So I'm not staying here. I'm not staying stuck. I'm growing continually, but I'm inspecting what I expect, and I'm setting and maintaining high standards. Anybody that Linda from 24 showed up on a TikTok live today. She's one of the ones that was here and's gone. Every now and then does a drive-by. I'm sure she is shocked at what is taking place, that I kept going. They stopped and doing whatever they're doing, and I kept going and kept growing. I didn't stop talking about the brain. I didn't stop doing this. Yes, ma'am. I didn't stop doing any of these things. People who saw me in 2014, 2015, somebody came back and was like, you still doing that? That's good. I'm still doing this. Being like that. So yeah, that's the part that matters. Is this hedonic treadmill that you are on, that you actually believe is value added. And your pharaohs will have you believing that more is better. Less is more. Less is actually more, because then you get to become more. Travel light. Run it lean, run it clean if you have a business, because then you can make all your nimble and you can be flexible, which is one of the 74 principles of leadership. So because I don't have all of these operating expenses and costs and everything, I can change. Oh, I'm not going to talk about that tomorrow. But if I got a machine, well, on Tuesday, we got that Ensure brand deal. So the whole topic got to be about Ensure so we get this bread and all these other things attached to it. I don't have any Faustian bargains. If I don't want to say it or do it, I don't have to say it or do it. Now that came with a cost, a financial cost and a cost of followers and all that other stuff. But I am actually fulfilled. 1 million followers with nobody doing Neuro Reps for me ain't shit. 100 followers with 30 people doing Neuro Reps is the shit. Because that's 30 people on their way to becoming a bad motherfucker. What am I going to do with 1 million people wanting to be Dr. Donna? Because that ain't going to be enough. Because then I'm going to want 10 million people. Kim Kardashian has 345 million followers. There are only 342 million Americans. I remember when she had 180. And now she has 345 million followers and counting. It's not enough. So now she got to be a lawyer on TV because she's a lawyer in life. That's still not enough. It's not enough. It's never enough because of the hedonic treadmill. So get off that motherfucker. That ain't exercise at all. No way, no how. It's not worth it neurologically. And it's never going to be enough. Dopamine has no limits. You're just going to keep wanting more and more and more and more and more. And it's never going to be enough. So in this moment, we're going to go ahead and have a moment of peace. We are going to regulate our SGACC. And for 60 seconds, you're just going to be at peace. I'm going to count you in a 3, 2, 1 fashion. And the chimes of my tablet are what's going to bring you out of it. 3, 2, 1. All right, today's brain bit is the working gloves brain. Look at the real leader brain. Let's check out. The work glove brain is a brain that has trained itself through repetition, pressure, and real world use, just like a glove that gets broken in over time. It doesn't just think, it grips, applies pressure, adjusts, and performs. So repetition equals grip strength. Just like a glove molds to the hand, neural pathways strengthen through myelination. That's basically the oligodendrocytes doing their job. The brain becomes more efficient, faster, and automatic. No reps, no grip. No neural reps, no grip. No reps, no grip. No neural reps, no grip. That means no myelination. That means no strengthening of your neural pathways. Tactile feedback, basically learning. Gloves give feedback through pressure and contact. So the brain learns the same way through sensory input and correction. So modern smart gloves literally map pressure and touch to guide learning and movement. Your brain needs real world friction, not just watching. That's what I keep telling everybody every day that keeps watching me. If you don't strengthen your brain and start using your brain as it was designed to be used, you're going to stay stuck. Adjustments in real time. A worker adjusts grips constantly to loosen, to drop it, too tight. It's going to break it. So where is the balance in using those gloves and grip? So the brain uses the ACC, which is error detection, and the cerebellum for precision correction. That's real leadership. It's adjusting without emotion based on feedback, sensory feedback. We talked about that with the lotion brain. So protection plus performance. Gloves protect the hand while still allowing functionality. So the brain must protect, which is what the amygdalae do. But the PFC still has to perform and execute. So in an untrained brain, they are overprotective with no action. But in a trained brain, they are protected and productive. And I'm going to come back on camera for this. That's all I'm teaching you. I'm not telling you to never use the limbic system. I'm saying use the sensory input from the limbic system and process it through your prefrontal cortex. You will have a different existence when you do that. It will be different. They work together. It shouldn't be lopsided. The prefrontal cortex runs the show, and the limbic system and the amygdalas are the threat detection. They're the security for your brain. Let me finish up. Skill transfers. The gloves help people learn physical tasks faster. And so your brain does this through the same methodologies: pattern recognition and stored motor programs. Once it's wired, it's transferable. So here is the real leadership alignment. Here are the principles that align with the working gloves. Finish what you start, grip and complete the task. Do it now. Procrastination is the enemy. No hesitation. Once you've got it, keep it. Be technically competent. Be technically competent. Someone challenged me at the earlier portion of the live, and they were not technically competent. Skills come from reps. Skills come from reps. I've been studying the brain for 17 months consecutively, every single day. So someone can't come along and tell me I'm a narcissist and I need to read somebody else's doctrine when I have my own. Stay focused, a steady grip with no distractions, and hold yourself personally accountable. If you drop it, that's on you. A brain without reps has no grip. A brain without reps has no grip. A brain without neural reps has no grip. That means you can't handle your day-to-day. You can't handle what's taking place up here. And so you resort to limbic living because it's comfortable, it's safe, and it's secure. And that is actually no-brainer. I have 2 questions for you today, the same 2 questions that present themselves every single day. And they are designed for you to wire your new neural pathways and then to strengthen those pathways. The 2 questions for the level 1s through 5, I don't know how many people are on this live, but it's for the levels 1 through 5. What did you learn today? And what did you learn about yourself today? The first question says, I will wake up and learn something every day so that when I go to sleep, I'm wiser, have more information than I did when I woke up. The second question is designed for you to go into your default mode network and self-reflect so you can actually self-correct instead of mind wandering, daydreaming, and ruminating. And then thirdly, the level 1s through level 5 put brains, ellipses, thinking emojis, buffers, because what you are doing is you are literally training your inhibitory control, strengthening it to think before you actually speak. And those 3 together really, 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 really create neural clarity. So Lacey is thinking, Daisy is thinking, and drink water. I think this is only my first time saying it today. I am actually sleep deprived. I will be taking a nap as soon as I put in your neural reps. Nola is thinking. Well, I gotta eat this oatmeal too. Second time what, Daisy? You learned second time? Oh, it's my second time for water. Thank you. Okay. Ouch. I got to stretch. We had a physical day. Oh. Nola said, I learned the hedonic treadmill makes you always want more. Yep. And this is the thing. People, literally when I was looking up to make sure I was pronouncing it correctly, someone had a YouTube video about it from a couple years back. So it's a thing that some people are aware of. That's why you get off that motherfucker. Nola said, I learned about myself because I am mentally stimulated. I don't ever feel the hedonic treadmill. Yes, that's why we can go to the mall and leave with nothing but the thing that we went to the mall for. If it ain't there, we can leave. I would have spent the whole spring, summer looking for white linen pants if the sales clerk at White House Black Market didn't tell me to go to Nordstrom's, because I would have never looked. And we park and walk in Nordstrom's, and I never think to look in Nordstrom's because that's not a place that I shop. But now I know. Nurse Wells is thinking. Daisy, I learned that the hedonic treadmill puts you in a constant frame of want. Yes, it does. That's how you end up with so much shit. Going broke twice will give you perspective, though. You'll find you're like, yeah, no, I'm not about to buy all that shit. I'm good. I'm gonna buy what I need, not what I want. Not all the time. But then you can't get niggardly either. So then you can't, like, I waited 2 months to buy a computer when I very much needed a computer. So don't go in the other extreme either. Replace as needed. And again, like Nola said, when you are mentally stimulated for real and not dopamine spike donated, you find out that ain't even something that you strive for. Did other people type? Let me go to YouTube, because literally I have been talking to 0 and 1 person, and 0. Daisy said, I learned about myself today that you can sleep on the wants. Let me turn this down before I go and look at this to see if it was even. All right. Lacey said, I learned, no, I wasn't missing anything. It's still saying 1. Okay. I learned today that dopamine has no limits. I learned about me today I think you said off the hedonic treadmill has been the reason why I can be grateful for the wins already gained. More don't mean better. That's right, Lacey. More don't mean better, just mean more. Making sure that I want the want. Yes, ma'am, I understand. Yeah, sleep on it. I understand what you're saying now, Daisy. Yeah, give yourself 24 hours and see. And then especially if you've left the family member's house, so you're going to show them, I didn't did that dumb shit. You're going to show them. I am a DEDD. Why do you ask? The generalist. How about you do this? My complete name is Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers. If you put that into your search engine, my LinkedIn will pop up some videos and some other shit, some old articles. And then you can go ahead and get all the information that you need about me. Why are you curious? The hedonic system is never satisfied. I realize that the more I say no to it wants, the closer I am to living for what I need. Yep. And it's difficult in a world where consumption is rewarded by how much you have. The generalist, are you still there? And here's what I will say as y'all continue to answer. I ain't got no more estrogen, and I'm cool with that. I actually am. If I end up with a beard at the end of the year, I'll just grow that bitch out as best I can. Between my alopecia, I don't even know how much will grow in. Here is what I am no longer tolerating. And if it comes across as irritation, I don't really give a fuck how it comes across, because I've had to experience this for my whole life. The credential checking, the mythologizing, the projection, and everything else that people are doing will not go unchecked. And it's not that I'm looking for it. This shit is coming to me. Neuro Reps, you can message me on Instagram. And it's not hedonism, it's the Hedonic Treadmill. And I'm not about to get into a fucking debate with you about what it is. I'm not. If you actually want to learn how your brain functions, then message me on Instagram. If you're looking for some type of banter back and forth to see who's the smartest and stump the teacher, this ain't that. If you actually want to learn how your brain functions, message me on Instagram. If you don't, kick rocks. So this whole notion of people believing that they have a neurological right to come over here and do any type of check, when you're not checking the motherfucker that got you stupid in the first place. Your tribal leader got you fucked up. I will check the dog shit out of them too. I'm an equal opportunity dog shit checkerer. Okay? All of them. So we will not be using their rhetoric that you believed and then coming over here to see if I measure up. I'm the standard by which excellence is measured. You need to be using the principles of real leadership to go see if they fucking measure up. What is your degree in, Gizmo? What is your doctorate in? What is your dissertation? And what are you currently researching? Another thing, for all of these people that keep creating new fucking problems with no solutions, they just keep rinsing and repeating, finding some more shit that's wrong so they don't have to focus on excellence. There's more shit wrong than more shit right. Excellence is a beautiful thing. You actually can strive for it every day and accomplish it with a high functioning brain. I asked you, Gizmo, what is your doctorate in? Where's your dissertation? What was the topic of it? And what are you currently researching? So as I was saying before, more people came to do credential checks for me. I find it quite interesting because I don't present like your Pharaoh, that you're 100% okay with checking me, but not checking them. Where your shit at from following them? Where's yours? So like I said, I don't have any estrogen. I got zero patience for you telling me about your Pharaoh, some shit you read. It's personal accountability over here. And I know that's not something that you're accustomed to, but I teach individual people how to become excellent at whatever it is that they want to be excellent at. Not some fucking cohort idea like some lemmings where you all believe the same thing. Mine is classic realism and I a few. Okay. What is your complete name? So let's go ahead and do this. What is your complete name? So I can Google you. What's your complete name? And if you have to go, ladies and gentlemen, you go. I'm going to need your complete name. So whatever you're saying will either pop up on LinkedIn, and if you're famous for real, it'll be on Wikipedia. So name. You can spell it. I don't need my reading glasses for it. I do. I want your name. I just want your name. I'm not famous either. So I just want your name that resides with your classic realism research. So where can I find that at? You can give me your website or your LinkedIn profile name. Which one? You too, Daisy. That's private. Why is it private? You on my public shit talking to me about your shit. How is it private? Don't ask me then. If you're not willing to share yours, you over here on mine, then don't ask me. If it's private, keep it private. Don't start talking about it if you're not about to be about it. If it's still private, keep it quiet till it's public and published. You don't get to come over here asking me about shit and you're not willing to reveal yours. You're on my live with me talking. I'm a random person streaming in a foreign country. No, I'm actually in America streaming in my country. You're watching me from a country that I'm not in. I'm not a random person. Why would you ask a random person questions? I told you you could Google me. I told you. So again, ladies and gentlemen, someone came in asking me generic ass questions. I asked them where theirs is. Now they're getting defensive because their amygdala is in a high state of alert. And now I'm a random person that you wanted to engage with and have a conversation with. You started talking to me on my live. And now I'm asking you where your research is, and you're telling me I'm a rando and that's private. And now you're saying I'm streaming in a foreign country. YouTube is streaming this. I have no control over where YouTube sends my lives. We're not saying the same thing because you're not telling me who you are. We're not saying the same thing. And now you're mythologizing and you're also deflecting because I asked you where your shit was. You came on here like you were an expert and then I said, prove it. And now it's private. I asked you for your research. You started bringing up a topic that I wasn't talking about. So I asked you for yours. I asked you for yours. Where are your credentials at? Because I got credentials. I told you to Google me or search engine me. It's not a matter of me being too smart. Don't tell me what the fuck to do on my live. You new here. Shut the fuck up and listen. It's a lesson. Be quiet. It's a lesson in this. Don't tell me what to do on my lives and you brand new. You don't know what's going on. Be quiet and observe. I do this shit every day. I got a different point to prove based upon yesterday's topic. It's called personalized perspecting. And that's what this person is doing. And I'm showing it in real life so that when it happens to you in your real life, you get to hold somebody accountable and say, where's yours? That's what the lesson is. This isn't keep scrolling, keep scrolling. If you're experiencing friction, say you're experiencing friction. You don't like how this makes you feel. I don't like people coming and try to credential check me with no credentials. So there is friction, but this person caused it, not me. I'm not going to ignore it. This person stepped into my domain and I'm doing a credential check. That's what's actually taking place. But you don't like it because I'm holding them personally accountable. And now their amygdala is hijacked and they're creating fiction. And you don't like how that makes you feel. What I don't like is uncredentialed people who read white papers, think that they know something, and they are not credentialed. So that's what's taking place. The friction that you feel, Gizmo caused it. And now you want me to ignore it. And people have been asking me to do that for years, and I will not. You do not have the right to come to my live and ask me about something that you've never done. My opinion on some shit that's important to you and has nothing to do with me. And then backtrack when I say, let me Google you. And now I'm getting emotional. I'm actually not. What I am doing is holding you and other people personally accountable. And now you all want to start projecting. She's emotional. She can't handle the pressure. I asked you a simple question and you called me a random person in a foreign country. You're not going to be here too much longer. I'm using you as the lesson right now to prove a point from yesterday's lesson. But since you're random and you don't know how this works, so ladies and gentlemen, here we are again. A person presented themselves as an expert. When I asked that person for their credentials, they then started doing identity protection and told me I'm a random person in a foreign country on the internet and they're not going to give me their names, and then proceeded to ask me for my research. When that didn't work, they started projecting some more. And now they have resorted to saying, I am not accountable to a woman because their amygdala is completely hijacked. And now they see me as a threat. And now they're saying, I never said I was an expert. Then don't stay expert shit. Because you heard somebody else talking about a topic. And now you decided that you're going to come over here and see my thoughts on it. I did not go on an emotional rant. And the only person that believes that are the two people, the new people that are here. Nobody who actually is using this works. Big facts. She's emotional now. Based upon what? So why are you crashing? I'm actually not crashing. I'm holding you personally accountable to what you did. And now we have two people working together. So again, personalized prospecting, telling me how I should behave on my live for something that you enacted, both of you. And now you're going to tell me how I should feel about what y'all doing. She getting all emotional and shit. Now, if I was a man and I was passionate about it, you'd be like, yeah, tell him, bro. Tell him. Let him know who you is. But because I present to you from your perspective, this is why I shouldn't be doing it. See, you're a woman. You're over here getting emotional and shit. Let somebody miss a touchdown on a football game. They're going to get emotional too. Man, that was messed up. You don't tell, look at him over there mad because he didn't make a touchdown. So you started this. It didn't go how you planned. And now you are in a hijacked amygdala state telling me what I'm doing. You could have kept scrolling. Oh, I'm going to ask her about this topic. Ask yourself about it. About a random topic that I wasn't even talking about. And now ignored them. Everybody got answers, but hold yourself personally accountable for how we got here. How did we get here? A random person interjected and interjected themselves into what I was talking about. And now it's use your words. Y'all finished yet? What you got was myelination for what you do on a daily basis. What you created was a weaker prefrontal cortex. What you missed was an opportunity to learn how your brain functions so you can be high functioning. So now you feel like you won, but you're losing in life every day. If I never affected you, why are you still engaging? Because I can. I could have ended this 3 minutes ago if I wanted to. So the narrative, you're mythologizing right now because you believe that you've engaged me when I actually hijacked your amygdala, which is why you called me a random person on the internet and you're not about to tell me who you are. I won many, many words ago. And you believe that because you think I'm still talking to you, that I'm engaging with you, and you don't know that this lesson is for my actual students seeing it in real time. You have no idea right now that you are the court gesture. You are the idiot in the room. You have no idea about that. You believe that you have actually accomplished something, and you did. You proved my lesson for yesterday. And you've done what people always do. Why are you upset? Why are you mad? Are you over here? That's what women do. All you're doing is creating social conformity theory to tell me how I should be behaving based upon you coming to my live and saying things. I'm crashing out because I mentally mentioned intersectionality. Okay, I'm going to go, but before I go, any of the students, am I crashing out? Who's crashing out here? If there are any students left, I can't see how many people are on the live. Who's actually crashing out right now? And I'm going to go back to what I was saying before I block both of y'all. Because you both are getting blocked. Oh, you can't take it anymore. You can take it on the internet. No. Gizmo is crashing out. Gizmo is crashing out. And Gizmo doesn't know that Gizmo is a lesson because this is the first time that Gizmo has been here. And the other person, Sir Drop, you said you're on my side, lady. Got it? It's Dr. Donna. So Gizmo, you got to go. Thank you for the lesson. Thank you so much for being the lesson for today. So I'm going to get rid of your uncredentialed self so I can close out what I was saying. So again, ladies and gentlemen, people will come and do some shit, start some shit, and then say, I got you. Look at you crashing out. Not crashing out. I asked a couple questions and that person got very defensive. I'm not telling you anything. They crashed out long before I crashed out with the credential check. That's what actually took place. They actually crashed out. And so again, as I close, people think that they have the neurological right because they are attached to some other tribal leader, that they can come over here, bring their tribal leader bullshit over here. Because what I have never told people to do is take real leadership and go on other people's lives and troll them motherfuckers and bomb their comments with my shit. I've never told y'all to do that, and you better not do that because that's not real leadership. I'm over here minding my own real leader business, talking to the people who actually want to learn how their brain functions so they can be high functioning. And then here come all these randos attempting to check me, attempting to essay me verbally and everything else. Why? Because it's okay to do that in their tribe. None of the students came and said anything to Gizmo until I asked the question. They didn't jump in. Why? Because they have inhibitory control. They allowed it to take place because they understand that this is a lesson and that it takes place in life and you hold people personally accountable. And when you do, they come out fighting. The amygdala does not like accountability. And I let that go on for whoever else is looking. And then the mythologizing starts, as I said yesterday. So now they start telling me what I'm doing because it fits their narrative. They couldn't imagine that someone would let them be the lesson and do all of that and then block them because they are the lesson. So what did they say? I got you talking. I got you mad. You upset. Look at you still saying something. I'm saying you're the lesson. I'm saying I hijacked your amygdala about 3 minutes ago on purpose. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm telling you it's important for you to become high functioning so you will know how your brain functions. So when you are put in those situations in real life, randomly as they are, you will be a thermostat, not a thermometer. If I was upset, I'd be like, bitch, where the fuck is that? I didn't do that. But I'm a woman. And that's why the person called me a woman. So that would be a trigger for me. They went and tried to do all the things that they thought, based upon their tribal experience, should make me be hijacked. And that person was unsuccessful because as soon as I said, where's your shit? I don't know you, you're random on the internet. Then why are you asking me my opinion if I'm random? Why would you ask a random person about a topic that you weren't ready to talk about? I presented as credentialed and you wanted to find out my opinion about some bullshit that somebody else is bringing out there. I talk about applied neuroscience and real leadership because that shit works. My shit actually works. My theory actually works. I'm not theorizing about all of these things that have been talked about for thousands of years and haven't been resolved yet. That's not what the fuck I do. That's not who I am. And so every day I come live, I'm 877 days in. And people want to tell me how to run my lives. And I'm asking you, where are your 877 consecutive days of lives? And just ignore them so you could feel better. No, I want you to feel that friction. Why don't you just move on? Why are you letting people say dumb shit to you in real life and not handling conflict when it occurs? Because that's one of the 74 principles of real leadership. There's conflict on my live, and I need to address it for the people looking to know if you say some dumb shit, you're going to be held personally accountable for the shit that you type it because you don't have to type anything. And now you over here entertaining it. No, I'm not. I'm holding people personally accountable for the words that they chose, their lack of inhibition control in their limbic system. You say it, you're going to be held accountable for it because I know you're emotional. That's why you said it. And if you had inhibitory control, you wouldn't have asked me about some other theory. You'd be asking me about the theory of personal accountability if you were actually here to learn, but you weren't here to learn. You wanted to show people how smart you are about some shit you read, not some shit you did. So we might have some friction for a while, and I'm okay with that. But what I am not okay with is that because of how I present to you in your cubicleized existence, that I need to fit into a mold, and when I don't, you want to try to hijack my amygdala. That's no brainer, and that's a no-go for me. I'm never going to do that. Y'all are wrong. Y'all, with y'all tribal shit. Y'all ain't doing shit worth value or meaning. Nothing. It's rinse and fucking repeat because you refuse to use your brain. And now you want to come over here and tell me I'm the one that's insane? I doth think not. Nothing that you do makes neurological sense from a prefrontal cortex perspective. But when you are in limbic living, it all makes sense until it doesn't. I'm going to go over here and talk about her. I'm going to call her a hoe. I'm going to call her, God woke her up and she mad at fruitions and all of this stuff. And none of it makes logical sense. If someone came into your home and started kicking things and calling you names and saying things, would you be happy? Would you say, come on in and tear up all my shit? Or would you say, who the fuck are you coming up into my shit? Bitch, get out. But your limbic system has said, I get to go on the internet and say whatever the fuck I want. And if you get mad, I beat you. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard of in my life. Now you upset. Ha ha ha. Why you wake up in the morning wanting people to be upset? Because you're addicted to it. Because you believe that you got a reward. And what you did was prune more of your prefrontal cortex by doing it. That's all you did. So that when you get ready to use your brain, you can't. You will still be in your limbic system. That's what I'm proving on a daily basis. How many adults are in limbic living? Every single day. Every single day. And it's coming from all sides because I don't belong to a tribe. It's coming from all sides because I don't belong to a tribe. And so your brain doesn't have pattern recognition and it doesn't know what to do. So it goes for what you believe is the jugular. I got to attack you because you're different. I don't like how you make me feel. I'm experiencing friction. So shut up, doodle poo poo face. Stop saying that. You dumb woman. You hoe. You not Christian. You not. And so you start using all of your social conformity theories to try to comfort your brain because this is something that you can't explain neurologically. So you keep fucking with me and I'm going to keep fucking with you. And you ain't going to know what to do. Let it go. No. Don't address them. Why not? It's not a matter of weak people. And I got to go because I'm sleepy. You're missing the point, ladies and gentlemen. The point is that the adult brain is untrained. You wired it for comfort, safety, and survival, and that's why you have all of these groups that you're attached to. And when someone appears from another group and you can't identify them, you attack it because it's unfamiliar to you. And that's what people keep doing because they don't know what tribe I'm from. They think I'm from this tribe and they say something and it doesn't work. So then they go to, where are you from this tribe? 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 And if it's a inferiority complex, they want to know why I'm not in my inferior mindset when they've identified themselves as superior. Over there. There is no superiority over here. It's applied neuroscience and real leadership. And we are peers over here. We all gonna be bad motherfuckers. I'm already a bad motherfucker. I'm just waiting on y'all to catch up. I'm just waiting on y'all to catch up. And you can't do what you normally do. And let me say this last thing. And if you all have to go, you have to go. I want this on my live. You all are accustomed to soundbite information to get your amygdala hijacked or a spike of dopamine. And so you take those sound bites, thank you, Rupert Murdoch, and you take that as actual factual based information. So people come here, hear me say something for 2 minutes and have a knee-jerk reaction based upon what they believe they thought they heard. And your brain has been wired for that through decades of programming. If it bleeds, it leads. If you hear someone say this, I have my veteran hat on the other day and someone called me a white supremacist. Why? Because they saw a hat that has a black hat that has some words on it. And the programming says, see hat, say that. See hat, say that. They didn't ask a question or anything. So that's why I'm saying, don't come on a live and watch one live and think you know me. You won't. You will be 99% wrong because you will misinterpret what I was saying and why I was saying it. You'll watch me interact with a troll and say, they got her dumb ass interacting with trolls, when that's not what's actually happening. That's why I'm saying, and I will continue to say, hold yourself personally accountable for 365 consecutive days and do Neuro Reps for 365 consecutive days and see who's correct, me or them. That's what I'm saying do, and very few people are willing to do that. Why? Because then it will cause you to leave your tribe, your comfort, safety, and survival tribe that's keeping you stuck in a rut. So then you come over here and you say these random things based upon whomever you're listening to, and then you think you're winning when you're neurologically losing every single day. When you don't learn, you're making your hippocampus weaker and weaker and causing you to actually become a candidate for dementia and Alzheimer because you need a strong hippocampus, especially if it's already running in your family. After the age of 35, your working memory starts to deteriorate, so you find yourself at 65 not knowing how to do anything. You're neurologically harming your brain every day by participating in that. And you actually think by calling me a hoe, you're doing something to my brain. You're not. You actually think that by staying with that tribe, you're better. You're not. You're worse off neurologically. I'm saying be a global citizen and go do things. I'm not saying don't go to sporting events, don't listen to music or anything else, but don't let that stop you from being extraordinary and a bad mofo. That's what I'm saying. But you can't hear that because you're listening from your limbic system. So I'm just telling people, strengthen your brain and then make your own assessments of everything. Use your entire brain and then fix you first. It fixes a lot. Have a standard of excellence. And then go off and do whatever it is that's legal and moral. And then go do some other shit. And everybody from all these tribes have a problem with that. So I will address it every time I see it. Every time I see it. Because I'm in menopause and I don't have any estrogen left. So I'm not going to say it's okay for you to speak to me in that manner. I'm not going to let you come and do a credential check. I'm not going to let you come and spew some rhetoric and not be held accountable for your impulse or lack of impulse control. It's implicit. So stop it. Wire something different. So if you plan on coming back to this live, do not tell me what to do. I already know what to do. I'm doing it. Hold the other unaccountable people responsible and accountable for their actions. Don't keep making this a Dr. Donna thing. They're the ones that don't have impulse control. I would love to wake up every day and get on the internet, teach what I need to teach and go on my way. But the immediate gratification of 5.9 billion adults makes that damn near impossible. I will not let it go. I blocked probably 10 people this morning already. But you talking to them is causing friction for you. Because you're not holding nobody personally accountable in your life. Because it's difficult. You don't like the way it feels. That's why I let it go on. So you can feel that ACC friction going back and forth. I'm teaching people who want to learn how their brain functions. And here comes a person disrupting that. And then you want me to do what? Block them. Don't talk to them. Why? Why? Why can't I address the conflict? They've created conflict. If you were in class and someone came in class and started acting a fool, wouldn't you want the teacher to address it? Would you tell the teacher, ignore them? Keep teaching. No, because what your brain is saying, I don't like how this is making me feel. So make the teacher make them stop, or the teacher should know better. No, the other adult should have never been doing that, but that's a lack of impulse control. Their brain is wired for them to do that. So I am addressing it from a neurological perspective. I'm categorizing it. I'm holding people personally accountable. You're not going to ask me about a concept that you didn't create. Where's yours? I want to talk about the theory of that you've created. I want to talk about your doctrine, not some shit you read on the internet. You don't get to come telling me about somebody else's shit. I'm asking you about yours. I'm telling you about mine. I want to hear about yours. And people don't have that. So then you can't speak about something that you can't teach, that you didn't learn and you didn't become credentialed in. So are we all clear? Someone comes and attempts to do a credential check, I'm going to check their credentials. Someone comes and says things based upon personalized perception, I'm going to address that. And if that makes you uncomfortable, then this isn't the environment for you. I teach adults how to function in everyday life while life is lifing. And if you can't do that, that's on you. But do not keep telling me what I need to do. Process how it's making you feel. I would have more understanding if you said, Dr. Donna, this is making me uncomfortable right now. I want you to stop me from feeling uncomfortable right now. Because what you're not understanding is thousands and thousands of people have said hateful, harmful things to me on the internet. And I come back the next day still willing to teach every day, 877 consecutive days. And y'all keep saying, let that go. How many times should I be called the N-word? How many times should I be called black anything before there's a heightened level of you're not going to keep disrespecting me from individual people from different tribes at that point? Because I'm the one that keeps getting called the names. I'm the one who has to experience it. My insula registers it as friction, as attention, and my ACC has to process it. And I keep coming back every day. But I don't get credit for coming back every day in spite of everybody's neurological ineptitude. I don't get credit for that. Ha ha, I got you. I shut you up. No, you didn't. I'll be back tomorrow, God willing, higher power in the universe. You didn't shut me up. Nobody has. But when you have a stronger prefrontal cortex, you can process that differently. Because y'all saw it differently, but that's why I'm still here explaining how it actually went down for me with a strong prefrontal cortex. I allowed it to occur. I got a block button. I could block them and let it go. I could have been blocked them motherfuckers. These two fingers work real good. But I didn't, because you can't block the people in your life that's causing friction for you. You can't block the people that's calling you names in person. So what do? You strengthen your prefrontal cortex and you use inhibitory control. And you handle the situation, be a thermostat, not a thermometer, because that's one of the 74 principles of real leadership. And then you handle a situation, handle conflict when it occurs, is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. If you don't know, ask, is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. So I said, let me have your full name so I can see what your credentials are. I'm asking you a question, so I will know if I'm talking to a peer or not. So for those of you who are watching, you didn't understand that I was using my shit on my live in a real life example to demonstrate a trained brain versus an untrained brain. So you could see it in a safe environment where it wasn't actually happening to you, so you could observe it without actually being hijacked. So you could process in your own default mode network what was taking place for you just watching it. And how do you feel about that? And go process that. That's what the whole point was. It wasn't an argument. They would have lost. It was a real life demonstration of someone coming to seek some dopamine. And when they didn't get it, they reacted a lot, to the point where because if you do it long enough, people are going to show you who they are. And this person said, I ain't listening to no woman. Oh, okay. Got it. Mythologized and pattern recognition and everything else. Because what did I do? I asked them for their credentials as they attempted to get me to talk about something that I don't talk about. It was a credential check. Stumped the teacher. Okay, so are we clear? That's what actually took place. I was not getting emotional, mythologizing. I was not letting it just happen because I'm a woman who doesn't know what's going on and I can't control anything. I was in 100% complete control. I have 5 communication certifications. So if I say, bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up, I got your attention. I got your attention. And now everybody's parasympathetic system is back. Your sympathetic system is not in fight or flight anymore. I took you on that journey on purpose. I took you on that journey on purpose. Let me ask you this. If my amygdala was actually hijacked, would I still have been able to explain everything that took place in this manner? Would it have occurred? Because once your amygdala is hijacked, you're done. You yelling, you cussing, fuck y'all, all that. I've had lives like that. But I'm also showing you a human experience in real life. Let's say I was hijacked. My subgenual ACC is at neutral. So even when I get excitable, I can come back to neutral. I am the standard by which excellence is measured on a day-to-day basis. There is not another expert on how to everyday life better than me on the face of the planet Earth. Everyday shit. Not this episodic success bullshit, but everyday life. I've mastered that and continually getting better and improving every day. That's what you are learning over here. Shit is going to happen. Somebody's going to say some shit. Some shit is going to go left. And who are you? What is your default when life starts lifing? When you do neural reps every single day, you're going to be better at your every single day. Point blank, period. And all this tribal shit, God willing, higher power in the universe will go away in my lifetime so that the bees, generation bees that are born now, will not have to experience none of this neurological ineptitude in the adult population. So that's me in a nutshell. You want to come back tomorrow? Come back. But what you're not going to come back with is all your fucking programming and your prejudging, because I'm a motherfucking genius. Okay? I'm a genius. I've been doing this for a very, 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 very long time and continue to keep growing and developing, unlike these other people out here. There is not anything that I don't do without a why or a strategy. Not one thing. I know why I'm about to go take a shower and send y'all neural reps. Nothing. It's random over here. But please do me a solid if you coming back. Don't bring that shit. Don't bring none of that other bullshit with you. Leave that shit where it is. Don't ask me about somebody else's shit. Ask me about my shit that I created, because this is excellence over here. Neuroscience and real leadership. That's it. I don't give a fuck about none of that other shit, because if it worked, then it will be working. It doesn't work. Already been there, done that. This shit works, that shit doesn't. So don't ask me about nobody else's personal accountability. You want to ask me a question about you? Absolutely. How can I improve this? Okay, cool. Here's the neurological background for that. And here's what you can do. That's why I got 12,000 videos. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. So that's what I want. If I could get a birthday gift, it would be for motherfuckers to stop their personalized perspective of me because I make you feel uncomfortable. Explore that uncomfortability in your default mode network. Don't project that shit on me. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, safe space, with a different brain t-shirt. For those of you who are doing neural reps, your neural rep will be ready by 8:30. For those of you who are coming back, you actually just don't need to come back if you're not going to go do neural reps, because you're just going to be watching me and not wiring shit. I'm Dr. Donna. You all go off and have a brain-tastic day. Adios.